Day 5 of Green Bay Packers training camp is officially here, and this is the official start of full padded practice for the Green Bay Packers. So, of course, with that comes more intensity, longer practices, more reps, and overall more takeaways. So, of course, I do have some highlights from today's practice during warmups. I also have an 11v11 clip. Unfortunately, the Packers didn't do 1v1s today, which is a little bit of a surprise to me. Usually when the pads come on, they get right into 1v1, but I do assume that 1v1s will begin tomorrow. The Packers practice yet again tomorrow, and it will be a full padded practice. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time and want to stay in the loop with everything Green Bay Packers during this training camp, including highlight videos and takeaway videos from every single day of practice, go down and click that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you won't miss any of the new videos that come out. So without further ado, let's dive into the highlights from today's practice. This first clip is some major news, and that is that Elton Jenkins has returned to practice. We know the whole ordeal with the Elton Jenkins contract situation, and also he was on NFI with a back injury. I think a big question was, when Elton Jenkins gets healthy, will he return to practice or will he hold out? And Gutekunst said earlier last week that once Elton Jenkins is good from his injury, he will begin practicing, and that happened today. Now, Elton Jenkins didn't participate in team sessions. He just went through individuals and walkthroughs, but it's still a great sign. First day of full pads, Elton Jenkins is out here going through walkthroughs at center, at least getting some snaps down with Jordan Love. That's very important, and he'll probably get implemented into team sessions maybe later this week or early next week is my best guess. He was removed off that NFI this morning with that back injury, and he's back at practice getting some well-needed center reps in. What Elton Jenkins can do for this offensive line and what he's always done for this offensive line, really playing any position the Packers need him. And I truly think his best position may just be at center. And the upgrade from Josh Myers last season to Elton Jenkins at center this year, Aaron Banks at left guard, a competition at right guard between Sean Ryan and Jordan Morgan. This offensive line can be even better than last year, and in my opinion, it was a top 5 unit last year. So, sky high potential for this offensive line. Obviously, one of the most important things to do is protect Jordan Love, and I think our offensive line just got better at doing that. Another very important injury update today. So along with Elton Jenkins returning, so did Quay Walker. We saw late last week that Quay Walker was activated off the PUP, but didn't really do anything at practice. It was just kind of in the rehab on the sidelines. But today he did participate in individual drills and warm-ups. So that's a good advancement. Quay Walker had off-season ankle surgery, so really good to see him getting out here, going through some of these individual drills at the beginning of practice. And overall, he looks good. It doesn't look like that ankle is bothering him at all, and he seems very, very close to be able to take part in team sessions and go into full contact. Now, we'll see when that happens. Other linebackers have been filling in his spot, such as Isaiah Simmons and Tyron Hopper, and of course also Edgerrin Cooper, Isaiah McDuffie getting plenty of opportunity as well. Here's a clip of both tight ends, Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave, doing a pretty similar drill to pretty much what we see every day. The only difference now is that the pads are on, and that's a big thing for the tight ends as well, because they're players that not only go and catch the football, but they're blocking on different plays as well. And when the pads come on, they can really show their physicality, and that's definitely the case for Tucker Kraft, a guy that really has been showing up to the practice field first. Him and Keyshawn Nixon are some of the first 2 players showing up to the practice field, and Tucker Kraft, man, you love this guy. I asked yesterday if anyone, thinks it's an actual possibility that he cracks 1,000 yards this season. I saw a lot of your comments. A lot of people are thinking more around that 700 to 800 yard mark, which I do agree with, but hey, maybe he does do that. It's just that there's a lot of other options on this offense, and the ball is definitely going to be spread around, but I think we could all collectively agree, give Kraft more targets. Here's a clip of Josh Jacobs going through a warm-up drill here, taking a handoff from Jordan Love. One big thing from today's practice, considering the pads were on, where you were watching the offensive line and defensive line, and the offensive line did great in pass protection, but wasn't that hot in run blocking, whereas the opposite on the defense. They were really good in run defense, obviously, and, were okay in pass rushing, but mainly the offensive line, what you want to see more, at least in my opinion, is the ability to start moving some people. right? Creating those open running lanes, those open holes for Josh Jacobs and the other running backs to run through. I think we can all agree that last year the run blocking wasn't the best. It could be better, and makes sense why the Packers brought in Aaron Banks, upgraded Josh Myers to Elton Jenkins. So hopefully we can see that progress as camp goes on. Here's a clip at the beginning of practice of Marshawn Lloyd, and unfortunately, it seems Marshawn Lloyd is hurt again. I hate saying this because the guy simply can't catch a break, but right when team sessions started, 11v11s, obviously first day of pads, the intensity is very, very high. We saw Nate Hobbs, be very intense a couple days ago, making a tackle on Dantavian Wix. And it happened early in this practice where Hobbs went kind of low on Marshawn Lloyd, and Lloyd came up limping and went to the trainers on the sideline and didn't return the rest of practice. I'm really, really hoping it's nothing serious. I mean, I was so excited to see Marshawn Lloyd finally get some action this preseason and carve out a role in this offense. So I'm hoping it's nothing crazy. It's nothing bad. I love the intensity from Nate Hobbs, but we also got to keep our guys healthy and, save it for the preseason games, save it for the joint practices. But I do like the intensity. You want your defense to play with their hair on fire. That's what Jeff Hafley is teaching over there. It's just unfortunate when the result of that is someone getting hurt like Marshawn Lloyd. Here's a clip of Jordan Love firing a nice pass to the outside to Romeo Dobs on a deep out route, and he makes a wonderful catch on the sideline there. Pretty much a one-handed snag that he brings into his body. Romeo Dobs, a very underrated wide receiver in this wide receiver room. Obviously, all eyes are on Matthew Golden. A lot of people are talking about Christian Watson, when he's going to be able to return. Jaden Reed being a number one guy because he's out of the slot, and the Packers like to utilize that a lot. But Romeo Dobs is a guy that could show up any game and give you a multiple touchdown performance and be a receiver that you can trust on third down when you really, really need it. Here we have Jaden Reed running a nice post corner for Jordan Love. Jaden Reed has mainly been, only really on the offense for 11 personnel, 21 personnel when there's a slot receiver on the field. But today, during walkthroughs and early portions of the practice, the Packers were in some 12 personnel, and Jaden Reed was taking part of that in terms of walkthroughs. You also see on the opposite side of the field, Romeo Dobs running the same route, just an underthrown ball, but a nicely placed ball by Jordan Love here on this post corner by Jaden Reed. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think Jaden Reed cracks 1,000 yards this season? He was on track to do so last year, but then had a big drop issue as the year went on. Who do you think, actually, at wide receiver, has the best chance at cracking 1,000 yards? Let me know down in the comments below. I also wanted to show you this clip. Shout out to Chase for getting me these exclusive sideline clip. It's Dantavian Wix on the sideline during the individual warm-ups, and it seems like he has a little bit of a limp. He's not talking to any trainers. It could be something as simple as like a bad blister. Who knows? But it definitely is something to monitor. I didn't see anyone on X talk about this. So hopefully Wix is okay after having, some really nice back-to-back practices. Hopefully he's all good. Then we have a clip of both Javon Bullard and Kalen King running through a defensive back drill here. Javon Bullard been getting more work at safety in today's practice. Obviously, they're still rotating in Evan Williams, who should get the start at safety overall, but the Packers aren't just putting Javon Bullard at nickel. That's not the only position they want to play him at. They want to play him both. They want to play him at safety. They want to play him at nickel. And I think on early downs, his best position is nickel to help defend against the run. He did a good job at that last year. We've also seen some reps this year where he's been better in man coverage across the middle. So big year 2 for Javon Bullard. That's, a guy that can play multiple positions is so valuable, especially so early in his career. It was super impressive to see Javon Bullard, take that all in year 1 and do a pretty good job at it. So really, really high potential here for Javon Bullard in year 2. The final clip we have is an 11v11 clip. Now it is the second team offense. You can see Cornelius Johnson on the left side, Bo Melton in at corner, Kalen King in the nickel at corner, and it's going to be a nice catch from Malik Heath on the left side from Malik Willis here in shotgun. Malik Willis is going to take the snap and find Malik Heath on the left side of the field. Nice throw by Willis and a really nice jumping grab by Malik Heath on the left sideline. Later in today's practice, Heath had another very impressive catch on the sideline, a diving back shoulder catch on the sideline. Did come up. It seemed to be hurt, and trainers went right over to him. So that's also something to monitor going forward. Malik Heath is fighting for that wide receiver number 6 spot between him and McCole Hardman right now. And today he made some really nice grabs, including this one with the second team from Malik Willis. Just a really nice throw, great pass protection as well, and a nice possession catch, a nice aggressive contested catch by Heath there. So those are all the clips I have from day 5, the first full padded practice from the Green Bay Packers. Again, they didn't do 1v1s today, which is a little disappointing. That's one of my favorite things to watch, the wide receivers versus defensive backs, O-line versus D-line 1v1. So hopefully we'll get that tomorrow. Be on the lookout for my takeaway video, and I'll go over in depth everything that happened during team sessions in today's practice. That'll come out right after this video. But I really appreciate you guys coming by. Leave a like down below if you did enjoy the video, but I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Pack Go.